MindStudio just released a new Chrome extension that you definitely don't want to miss. If you're new to MindStudio, it's an excellent platform for building AI agents. It provides this drag and drop interface that you can use to build any agent you want, with integration to third-party tools and a custom knowledge base. But with this Chrome extension, you can access any of your agents within the browser, and you also get access to a whole bunch of free agents as well. To install this extension, simply go to mindstudio.ai and click on Install the Chrome extension. Alternatively, just go to the Chrome Web Store and search for MindStudio. Then click on Add to Chrome, and then Add Extension. Once the extension is installed, we can simply go to our plugins, and then let's spin this extension. Now, if I refresh any web page, I can now access MindStudio by clicking on this little toggle. You will be asked to sign into MindStudio, and afterwards you can see all your custom agents, as well as a curated list of agents from MindStudio and the community. So you've got access to research agents, agents that can summarize content, and a lot more. Let's have a look at a few of these. Here we have this article from OpenAI going over the new audio models. So what we can do is access MindStudio either by clicking on this extensions button at the top, or we can click on the MindStudio toggle over here. In the sidebar, we can access any of these agents at any time, and these agents have a view of the content on this page. And we can also enlarge this view simply by dragging on this little handle over here. So we could do something like chat to the content on this page. So what we can do is go down to chat with web pages, and let's select one of these models. I'll simply select Claude 3.5 Haiku, and here you will notice the cost of running this model. Do take note that MindStudio does include a whole bunch of free models, which we'll have a look at in this video as well. Let's run this agent, and now we can ask any questions we want, like, what is this page about? And of course, our agent analyzed the contents of this page, and it's now answering our question. Awesome. If we simply wanted to summarize the page, we could do that with a dedicated agent. So if I go back to the list of agents, we can go to Analyze Content, and from here, we can find this TLDR agent, and this is a free agent offered by MindStudio. So let's run this, and this agent will now instantly give us a summary on this page, and it was entirely free. We get access to a whole bunch of fun agents as well. And of course, we can create our own agents, which I will show you how to do in this video as well. But let's have a look at some of the existing ones. Under Miscellaneous, we can do things like convert this article from news to fan fiction. Let's run this agent. So it's analyzing the content, and now it's generating the story components. Now it's generating the story, and now it's generating an image using audiogram, and it's formatting the complete story. And here we go. The story is titled Whispers of the Heart, a text-to-love story. Wow, so it decided to create a love story from this. Here we can see some details like the rating, which is explicit by the way. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. But we also get like warnings, category, the fandom, relationships, characters, and some additional tags. Here's the image that was generated by audiogram. And here we can see our full story. This is really a fun agent to use. So let's have a look at another one. So again, under Miscellaneous, let's go to the next tab. And here we can generate a quiz from any article. So this is also a fun way to get an understanding of the content of any article. So this only took a second or two, and now we have this quiz. So we can start the quiz, and it's generated 6 questions for us. So it's asking, what is the main purpose of OpenAI's new speech-to-text and text-to-speech audio models? And this is to improve text-based agents, to enable more powerful and customizable voice agents, to enhance video capabilities, and to develop more advanced chatbots. Let's just go with this last one. And this was the wrong answer, and the correct answer would have been this. So of course we can simply continue with this quiz, and finally we should get a final result. Another fun agent to use is the fact checker. So on CNN, I'm actually just going to open up any article. And if we wanted to fact check an article, all we can do is click on MindStudio. Then let's go to fact check. Let's run for free. And this is another free agent, by the way. And this will analyze the article and extract all the claims made by the article. And it will then fact check each of those claims. So this is actually doing a lot of work. It's performing additional research online and evaluating each of these claims. Cool, so after about a minute, we get this result back, and MindStudio actually generated a nicely formatted article for us. So it's got its header, it's got a link to the original article, and then it's listing each of the claims. So it's giving us a claim made by the article, it tells us whether this claim is true, and a whole bunch of sources. It's giving us a second claim, telling us if this is true, along with all the supporting resources as well. This is really cool. So if you tend to run deep search all the time or summarize articles, you can pin them in this little sidebar as well. For instance, I've got deep research pinned here so that I can instantly pull it up at any point. In order to pin an agent, simply log into MindStudio, go to My Workspace, then click on Agents. Here you can view all the agents that were available in that extension as well. So if you wanted to pin an agent, you can simply click on the agent, then click on these three dots and click on Pin in Extension. This means if I now refresh this page, I can see the TLDR agent was indeed pinned. I can also hide these shortcuts simply by clicking on this down arrow, or show them again by clicking on this up arrow. Another powerful agent that I like to use is this deep research agent. So under research, we can find this deep research agent. We can view its costs over here, and let's actually run this. This agent can actually take a few minutes to execute. It performs a lot of different types of research for us, and it provides a complete report. So after it's analyzed the contents of the page, we can tell it what type of research we want it to do. Do we want to learn more about image generation technology, AI safety in image generation? Do we want to learn more about multimodal models? Or we can just enter something else. Let's simply go ahead and select image generation technology. Now, like I mentioned, this agent can take quite a while to execute as it's doing a lot of different things behind the scenes. Now, personally, I don't want to wait minutes for this to complete. So what we can do is click on Notify when finished. And now we can continue doing something else while the agent is running in the background. In fact, while this is running, let me show you how to build your very own agents which you can add to MindStudio. So go over to mindstudio.ai and sign into your account. Then click on Create New Agent, and let's rename it by clicking on the title over here. This will take us to this page. Let's rename this agent to YouTube Video Summarizer, and what we want this agent to do is look at any YouTube video and then simply summarize that video for us. Then under Workflows, go to main.flow and then click on Automations. This will bring up this drag and drop interface for building this agent. Now, I do have a full tutorial showing you how to build agents using MindStudio, so I will link to that video in the description, and you should see a card show up on the screen right now. Each workflow needs some sort of trigger, like this start node, and of course we need to end the workflow using some sort of end node. On the start mode, we can decide which variables we want to launch with, but for browser extensions, we want to grab all the available metadata coming in from the browser. So for the trigger mode, let's change this from on demand to browser extension. And this will now bring in things like the URL, metadata, the page content, etc. Now that the workflow is receiving all of this information, let's continue building this out. So in our example, we will have some YouTube video open. For example, I'll open up this video where I show you how to build AI agents using the OpenAI Responses API. Now, what we want here is to access some sort of agent that will quickly summarize this video for us. This means that on this page, we have all sorts of metadata like this YouTube URL. Back in MindStudio, let's click on Add, and let's select View All Blocks, and let's search for YouTube, and let's select Fetch YouTube Captions. Now this node expects a URL. We can reference the URL from the starting node by calling its variable name, which is URL. So in this node, we can reference URLs by typing double curly braces. Here we can see all of these variables, and let's select URL. Let's also provide a name for the output variable, and let's simply call this captions. So this variable captions will contain the output generated by this node. We'll simply leave it as plain text, and I'll leave the language as English. Now we want to add an AI model that will summarize these captions for us. So let's click on Add Nodes. Let's select Generate Text. And in this prompt window, let's enter something like summarize the following. And then we can reference that variable by typing double curly braces. And let's select the captions variable that we created over here. Then for the behavior, let's simply leave this on display to user. And for the model, I'm just going to select, let's scroll down with this list, Gemini 2.0 Flash. I really like this model. So let's go ahead and publish this agent. And we should now be able to see this agent in our extension. So I'm just going to refresh this page. And now if we go to MindStudio, under My Agents, we can just go to the second page here. And here we can see our YouTube video summarizer. So let's run this. Our agent is fetching the YouTube captions. And now it's sending that response back to the user. How cool is that? For interest's sake, I can see the deep research agent is still executing. So let's continue working on our own agent. And I just want to show you additional things that you can do here. And of course, this is optional. If you only want this agent to show up on certain websites, for instance on YouTube, as it wouldn't make sense to run this agent on any other platform, we can simply click on the Start node, and under Triggers, we have this option called Enabled URLs. If set, the agent will only be available for use on the specific URL. And if you leave it empty, the agent will simply be available on all sites. So we only want this agent to be available on YouTube. So let's simply paste in youtube.com/watch. Awesome. So now we can only access this agent from YouTube. And you can see some of their agents do this as well. So if I expand this, we can see this curated list of agents showing up. And these only show up on YouTube, by the way. We can also generate artifacts using these workflows. So let's say we actually wanted to grab this response and generate a PDF document from it. So what we can do is change the output from display to user to save to variable. And let's call this something like summary. Then let's add another node. And this time let's generate an asset. For the source type, let's leave it as markdown. And for the output variable, let's call this asset. We'll format it as PDF. So then let's add one more node. Let's select display content. And for display content, let's show the full summary. So I'll do summary. Let's select the summary variable. And let's also add download it as a PDF. And then let's also show our asset. We'll display this to the user. So let's actually run publish. Then back to our YouTube video. Let's go to our agents. Let's select YouTube video summarizer. It's generating our asset. And here we go. So now we get the summary along with this link to download this as a PDF. And here we go. Here we can see this PDF document as well. Right, so this agent is taking quite a while to run. So I decided to run deep search on the same article again, just to restart the process. And I selected a simply different topic. I think it had something to do with the limitations of image generation. And after a few minutes, the agent gave me this response, which is a nice article that contains some key points about this research. We have this interesting image that was generated and this full-blown article. And you can see this is massive. And what's really cool is we can see all the different sources as well. And because I enabled notify when finished, we also received this email from MindStudio telling us that the research completed. And if we click on view full results, this will take us to the MindStudio app where we can view that full article as well. I want to thank MindStudio for making this video possible, and I highly recommend giving them a shot. If you would like to learn how to build more advanced agents using MindStudio, then check out my full tutorial over here. I'll see you in the next one.